We're recording.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Executive Member Meeting Leaders Portfolio. Bear with me as I navigate between documents and teams here. Item 1 is monitoring of exec member cabinet decisions. Anything to report, Vicky?
No, the only one that can come off at the moment is the finance report for Q2, which has been completed.
Okay, thanks very much. Item 2 is the aggregate financial monitor Q2.
Yeah, thanks, Leader. I'll be presenting this. So the aggregate monitor at Q2 sets out the overall financial performance of the services. We are pretty much in line with the budget that was set in February of the previous year. What I would like to do is I'd like to draw members' attention to the amount of departmental reserves that are being used to balance the budget during the year. In Table 2, you will see that there is around £14.4 million worth of reserves being used to ensure that the outturn does come back to the budget that was set. Now, obviously, reserves are there for supporting the services, but we do need to be mindful that increasingly we're seeing more and more reserves being consumed in year. In particular, we'll see quite a lot of reserves used in children's services and adults' health and wellbeing, which are obviously areas that we're fully aware are suffering from increased demand pressures. I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, thanks, Graham. It's obviously take questions and comments from members. It's worth noting that reserves is an all-encompassing title, much of which it isn't just sitting idle in the bank, but is actually there to be spent on specific things. We've just not yet got to the point where we're able to spend, and some of the reserves, quite rightly, can be used to shore up the revenue budget on a year-by-year basis, but it is a moving feast. It's something that we can't always depend upon. Councillor Hayes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, can't hear you, Roger. You are not muted, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
Well, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was aware that we'd used 5 million last year on children's services. The 11 million takes me by surprise, I must admit. Can somebody just comment on that?
Shall I comment, Leader?
Yes, please, Tony.
I think, I mean, we've been bringing this to members through exec member meetings, through cabinet meetings for the last couple of months or so. And as I've said previously, we're no different than a lot of councils across the country in terms of these particularly children's social care pressures. We're seeing placements of significant amounts of money. In terms of what we're doing, we've had a discussion at our corporate leadership team last week to look at see if there were ways of mitigating, particularly the out of borough demand placements. And I'm expecting the Director of Children's Services to come back over the next couple of weeks with some kind of plan as to what we can potentially do to try and mitigate and limit some of these issues. But it is a concern. I won't say anything else.
Absolutely, and thanks for raising that, Councillor. It's becoming increasingly worrying, the demand pressures in not just children's but adult social care as well across the country, and we're seeing councils getting into serious financial difficulty now. That is the biggest demand pressure that we're dealing with at the moment. Okay, any further comments? If not, thank you, and we'll move on to the second financial item, which is the Treasury Management Outturn Report for Q2.
Yes, I'll take that again. Thanks, Leader. So the Q2 Treasury Management Outturn Report summarises the Treasury activities for the second quarter of the year. I'm pleased to report that all of the measures set by Council in February 23 are being met within Treasury activities, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thanks for that. Councillor Cox, you had a specific question at Cabinet on Monday about income from investments, etc. Is that something you want to raise here and hopefully potentially get an answer?
Well, I always ask my questions in hope. Yeah, I mean, I was only bringing it up at Cabinet on Monday, given the significant movement in interest rates and the amount I know we've had on treasuries for quite some time, and the lack of revenue that we've received from it. I was rather hopeful that going into next year and the year after, treasuries might produce a significant revenue stream to the council. Tony, you appeared to you gave the impression that that was going to happen, but it was going to be spent on children's services, which I think we've just covered. Is that?
Yeah,
I don't suppose it's moved much from Monday, has it, Tony?
Not really. In the space of 48 hours, no, I'm afraid not. We've just had the previous conversation. It is what it is at the minute. I can't commit to putting any more in there at this point in time. It's just needed to prop those holes. Sorry, might not be the answer you want.
Because of the demand pressures appearing in children's services.
Yeah. If we can get the demand under pressure, then we may be having a different conversation.
Yeah, and it's just worth noting for anybody watching the video that these are investments based on our council's cash flow, for which we receive significant income, which helps obviously shore up services.
But it's just as well we are receiving them, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Indeed,
Otherwise,
yes.
you'd be saying, where's this money going to come from? So it is very useful.
Yeah.
We have something to thank Liz Truss for, then, do we?
I'll take that as a political question.
Sorry, thank and Liz Truss in the same sentence is I can't compute that. I'll have to move on unless there's any further comments. If not, just get my agenda back up. We now move into confidential items, and again, for the benefit of the watching public, the reason that we stop the broadcast at this stage is that the confidentiality, either staffing or financial on the whole, means that the items have to be dealt with in private and do become public in due course as the process moves on. So thank you very much, and we can stop recording.